Witch Queen of Lemuria was our great enemy in the dying days of our race. Her people came to us as refugees, but even as they took our succor, they plotted our downfall. She was present at the creation of the bracelet, lending her power to ours. Her fate is unknown to me, but she always ruled from her city in the swamp to the east.
Welcome, exiles, to Escaping the Exiled Lands, where we gather the artifacts of power to escape. First off, the Witch Queen of Lemuria, which we will be traveling to east, here to her temple. Once you make your way through the ape-riddled jungle city, you will find yourself at the heart of the temple. Inside rests the Witch Queen of Lemuria.
The bracelet you wear marks you my enemy! Dagon will protect me!
Once you get in here, the fight is pretty self-explanatory. You'll be fighting her as well as one of her statues. Overall, if you try to focus on the statue, she will apply a lot of damage to you, so it's not really that effective. Focus your efforts on her and just avoiding the statue. And she's not that strong, so you will make short work of her. Once she's dead, the statues will stop attacking. In her body, you will find her mask and a key. Don't forget to go to her throne to collect her gear. Now that is the first part of the artifacts of power. With that, we can leave, and we can set off in search of the other artifacts. First, let's inspect this. Many Lemurians escaped the eastern coast of the Thuran continent, which was comparatively untouched. There they were enslaved by an ancient race which already dwelt there, and their history for thousands of years is a history of brutal servitude, the Hyborian Age. This mask was used by the Witch Queens of Lemuria to communicate with the primary deity, Dagon, before the kingdom sank into the ocean during the Cataclysm. When the Lemurians crossed the land of the Giant Kings, they negotiated for somewhere to settle. The Witch Queen, wary of the forced exiles of her people, helped the Giant Kings to forge the bracelets, originally to facilitate communication between the two races. Later, this mask possessed the exiled Razma, controlling her thoughts and forcing her to start rebuilding the palace at the heart of Zilha. This is one of the artifacts required to create the keystone that can be used to remove the slave bracelet. We also got a key. This small key opens a door in the Separumu, which is where Razma returned after being freed from the mask of the Witch Queen. Separumu is right over here on the western side of the desert. As you enter the capital, you will see this tall central building, and up from the waterway you will see this door that is half ajar. Come up to it and interact with one of the doors. It will open, allowing you in to Razma's quarters. Go forward and talk to her, and she will tell you a story like none you have ever heard before.
I wanted to thank you. The woman that you met in those ruins, that was not me. She was ancient and wicked and powerful. You almost killed me in that city. I cannot begrudge you that. Such a terrible, awesome creation. While I wore the mask, I was somebody else. I was something else. Such power and knowledge. I stood on an island in a vast ocean. I could see across the water in every direction. And that ocean was time. I am sorry. It is difficult to describe. All I have are fragments. Her memories evaporate from my mind like mists above the oasis. If you have questions, you must ask them quickly. My mind is leaking, purging itself of all traces of that woman. She knew so much about these bracelets we wear, about the Giant Kings and the ancient war, about the darkness that lurks in the volcano, and... Just ask, friend, before I lose the nerve to speak. The bracelets. She made them, together with the Giant Kings. The bracelets were imbued with the power of 7 artifacts. The Witch Queen's mask, the diadem of the Giant Kings, the tears of 2 races, the shining trapezohedron, the star of the champion, the heart of the sands, and the black ring of Set. The bracelets were created to translate any language for the wearer, to allow swift movement around the Empire, and to allow communication and recording through the lore stones. It was only later, when the war began, that the Queen suspected that the Giant Kings had included a death weave in the sorcery. Any who tried to flee their control were simply killed by the curse wall. Her mind shies away from 2 things: her grandchild and what her people found in the volcano. Her grandchild was not truly human. Zoltar? He was a hostage or something else. I'm sorry. For her, these memories were laden with emotion. I see a beloved daughter, and a hated foe, and a child that brings hope. It is so very unclear. As for what her people discovered at the volcano, horror, anger, and disgust, and fear. This is the only memory where the Witch Queen of Lemuria felt fear. I truly don't know what I will do now that I have my freedom. Conan has offered to accompany me north, back to my home city in Shem. My palace awaits me, and the pampered life of a princess of Shem. But my enemies, the ones who sent me here, they also await me there. Perhaps instead, I will travel with Conan a while, see the world by his side. He is formidable, yes, for a barbarian.
And with that, that wraps up the first artifact of power. And now you can leave the same way you came in, and we'll set off in search of our next artifact of power. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.